right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the studio, back in the saddle, coming at you from the ones and twos, joined by Randy Ingston.
On the ones and twos.
The ones and twos, guys. Growth Summit is upon us. It's coming up. I could feel the shadow of the mountain, coming in. It's looming, and it's going to be a great event, guys. Tickets are on sale. FitProGrowthSummit.com, June 8th through 11th. We kick off the whole thing with a pre-con with HSN Nutrition. Our Iron Circle member, Nicole Aucoin, and her crew are going to teach us how to, basically implement a nutrition program in your gym for a 4-hour pre-con that you get when you sign up now, right?
Boom.
So it's on the Thursday. I think it kicks off around 1 or 2. Got to look at the agenda. And then we end that right into our happy hour kickoff mixer, welcome mixer.
There you go.
You can get your tickets, your badges and everything there. And then we start off the very next morning with a workout. Such a great event, guys. I'm excited. We've got a lot of new things that we're implementing this year. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. So FitProGrowthSummit.com. Get your ticket now.
Boom. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That's time's flying.
Get it now. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. All right. So listen, guys. Some of you listening right now have this model. It's a sports performance facility, and I think a lot of us coming up maybe might have been in sports, and maybe that was the catalyst for opening a gym and getting into this industry, into fitness. You've been around it your whole life, and wouldn't it be nice to train athletes in youth sports and get teams of kids in there, and you're just making them better, and then you can see them go off into college and then the pros, and you know that you had your thumb on that.
Sounds fun, right?
It sounds like a great
exactly
life, right?
Yeah.
The unfortunate side about youth sports and youth performance facilities is this cyclical high and low, on season, off season, no real true sustainable, systematic business model, at least the ones that we've worked with.
Yeah.
Okay. The ones that we work with, at least in the very beginning of time, they always needed to supplement their income from youth athletes with adult performance or adult fitness. And the question then arises in my head, and I'll tell you why this is coming up today. Sure. What are you as a facility if you're looking to supplement your income with adult fitness, and you've got all these youth sports? There's a mismatch of, I guess, image in the market, right? Like if all the parents are here anyway, and they're dropping the kids off, might as well train them as well, but they're not in sports, and so.
Does it change your identity?
How do you navigate this?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing this up today, and I wanted to just kind of throw this out there, is I've got targeted by D1, which is the sports performance franchise, looking for adult fitness. And I'm like, as let's just say I wasn't in this industry and I was just a dad going to work every day, and I looked at that ad, and I'm going to look at D1. And I'm going to go to their website. I'm going to see all this youth athletes. It's not going to talk to me, right? And
unless you're like the beer league guy or something, where like you've got something that you're still involved with, from a performance athletic stance, but your average individual, while there's athletic ability and aspects of it within the training and things like that that we do with adults, it's not like the measurable goals and things like that aren't they're 40 times. It's not their vert. It's not, it's longevity. It's comfort putting their jeans on. It's, those are the things we're training for. It's not the measurable athletic, performance. And so I think that part of it, does muddy the waters for your identity. But for me, the biggest thing is, why are you putting all of your eggs in one basket if you know that basket doesn't even pay your bills? Like, I couldn't imagine starting a business with youth sports performance and hoping to rely on that as the vehicle for creation, wealth creation and all of that. I think the point is we see that it's very, very difficult to do, if not doable, if you don't layer in some sort of gen pop, adult training or something to supplement the ebbs and flows of that business, like you said, it's cyclical.
It's cyclical. It's very I mean, on season, off season, it's very session based too, because you know, when you're selling this type of training to athletes, you're selling it to their parents, and the parents have all these issues. Well, we're traveling, and then summer vacation's coming up, and then we've got this, and he's got practice on these days, and then well, the coach just added a cardio sessions to the end of their thing, so we don't need the. And now you're like, well, we'll just do sessions and use them as you need them. That, and then you're really in a hole, right?
That's the last place
because that's like the only way you can sell it, because they don't know what their schedule is. Things constantly change. They need rides to the gym. The parents got to work late. It's a whole mess.
Well,
right?
I mean, servicing is one thing too, but let's talk about the acquisition of the clients. It's hard enough speaking to the end user with general pop or your average, adult training. Like, we're speaking to the person that we're trying to bring in those four walls. Mm-hmm. You can't target under 18 on Facebook. We're not going after the children with the ads that, and getting them excited. We're talking to the parents of. And so when it comes to just scalability for how we traditionally run ads versus this, it's an entirely different beast.
Yep.
Not only that, but like the difficulty of, team adoption. I mean, I remember, and I'm sure you could speak the same way, like the camps, the coaches that we had outside of our teams, it was like, we worked with one guy, you know what I mean? And if you weren't working with him, we weren't looking everywhere for the source. Like, he was the speed guy that we all went to his speed camp.
Yeah, and he was probably knighted by the team.
Exactly.
And so if you don't get in with that coach, with that school, with that club, you're really fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, you have to be at the football games on Fridays. You have to be rubbing elbows with the coaching staff. You have to know the teams. You have to know the people on the teams, the parents of you have to be part of that.
Yeah.
In order to have that win.
Yeah, and so really I guess if you're a sports performance place and you're looking at your model and you're like, man, this is not, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. I don't think going for adult fitness is necessarily the answer. I think you could, and most do, but I think what you're saying, going to the football games, getting in with the schools, getting in with the clubs, talking to the parents of the parents, because that's a big word of mouth game and the inside, and you could see big uptick by getting the entire teams involved. Yeah. And I can only speak hypothetically because I've never had to do any of this. I was on the sports side.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I remember many of us going to the same camps and the same things, but it was like all the parents got together and they decided for us.
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened. Yeah. I mean, I had no control. Like, I couldn't tell you, how those decisions were made. It was just, this is the one that we're using because my parents talked to somebody else's parents, or the team was, recommending that, organization or camp or whatever it was. And had those people not been in the ear, or I think some of them were like former athletes at the school themselves.
Correct.
What happens if you decide to open up a business and that's your company? You got to compete against the guy who used to be in that organization. You lose. Like, more often than not, you're going to lose. You have to really over deliver and surprise somebody for them to give up the allegiance to, the former high school quarterback that's now doing that job. You know what I mean? So it's a tough road. I think that if you're looking at going into sports performance, I think it's a big passion project. I mean, there's a million things that you could do to go earn an income and own a business. That is a difficult path you're deciding to take. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the way that I look at it would be just that. I would create the business model that paid my bills, and then I would layer in my performance, youth athletics. Even if it was just running a couple camps or something like that, or having your hand with a few athletes that you could really take through and over deliver with. You know what I mean? That way you as a coach, as a trainer, is getting the joy out of what you want to do, but you're not relying on turning something you're passionate about and forcing that to pay your bills, because that is a massive uphill battle right now.
I remember when I first opened, I had to make a decision on who we wanted to cater to, and I went to the biggest piece of the pie, right? Like, we're already working with, if we took the total population, we're working with 14% that actually work out and go to the gym. Now, of those, you look at the individuals inside of that pie, and you're like, okay, well, There's CrossFitters, there's bodybuilders, there's yoga, class-based stuff. And then I'm over here, I'm like, well, this is general population. This ain't going away. This is the biggest piece of that. So let me cater to that style, and that's what's gotten us here.
Well, even within that, though, too, I mean, you've sort of niched within that, you know what I mean? But it was still taking from the greatest piece of the pie.
Had to.
Right? You have to give yourself the greatest opportunity, the greatest law of, the law of averages type thing. You have to be able to serve, the masses in a way. But yeah, I mean, it's so niched within the niche that's the problem is what happens when those kids are all in school for that session.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They graduate and go off to college. They're gone.
The lifetime value of a client's the 4 years that they're in high school or something, right? Yeah. Exactly. I mean, maybe you're fortunate enough to get them before they even ended up in high school, and you might squeeze 5 or 6 years out of a kid. But like that's it.
Like
that's the Super Bowl of clientele in that
getting
arena.
them from all the way up, and then they come home for summers and they're training them out of school. I mean, that's it. Like
maybe I mean half those kids coming back from college. I mean they're in for a week or two. Like it's not like they're coming back and falling back into those training routines. Most of them.
Yeah, no, they have the team
coaches that are
back at school. So, anyways, I thought I'd bring this up because I don't think this is really talked about much in this industry. It's like it just looks like rainbows and butterflies. But the fact that I'm getting targeted with ads that say, they're looking to supplement their youth sports with adult fitness, it's just a red flag to me. And so.
With a business that's
their whole franchise.
Their whole business is built around athletic sports performance.
D1.
Yeah. I mean, they partnered with athletes. I mean, that's where the whole thing came from.
That's it. So, not all doom and gloom. There's ways to work through this. So we wanted to bring this up. Hopefully, if you're in sports performance, you'll take a hard look at your model and make some decisions, and hopefully this will get you better. So that's it for this episode. Until next time, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals, and when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.